Let's see.
Hello,
Hey,
Mike.
hey everyone. Hey Kiki.
Your video is black for me. Turn off the camera and turn it on again,
Your
please.
video is black for me as well. Let me see here. Okay, how about now? Okay, there we go. There we
Yes,
go.
you're good too.
Okay, now I can see you. Hi everyone. We're gonna be waiting a few minutes to give some time for everyone else to join. Okay, they say that. Can everyone see us both? Let's see. One person said they can only see me. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and the sound and everything is good, I'm guessing. Yep, since you guys are replying. Okay, let's wait a few minutes. So where's everyone? Let's see, where's everyone tuning in from? Love to see that. I'm currently in Arizona, but I'll be flying back to Europe next week, going to Italy, and then back to Sweden.
Okay, Morocco, Sweden.
Okay. Quite a few. Okay, there's quite a few from the US, so I'm saying good morning to everyone there, and good afternoon to everyone in Europe and past that.
For you, it's 9 a.m., right?
Yeah, 9 a.m. at the moment. So Copenhagen, that's where I'm actually landing and flying back. Senegal, wow, that is very global. Let's give it another minute.
Okay, I'll just prepare the presentation here.
Perfect, thank you. We can, just wondering, is this the first time, everyone that is joined now, is this the first webinar that you're watching with us or joining? Or have you been in the previous webinars? Okay, first one. Perfect. Well, okay, that seems, yep. Okay, I think we can start.
We can start. Okay, I'll start with the opening. So welcome everyone again. I'm Christina. I'm part of the BrandsGateway team and I'll be the moderator of this webinar. I'm here today with BrandsGateway's founder and CEO, Michael Tichen, who will lead the webinar and I'll assist in the background. So before presenting the agenda, I would like to say thank you for joining us today. This is our third webinar and we plan on hosting more of these kinds of webinars going forward. So we hope that you will find this one informative and interesting and that you will join the webinars that will come up. So the agenda for today is this. So first, Michael will introduce himself and BrandsGateway, and then we'll continue with the presentation and discussion of the topic, which is how to build a 7-figure business with BrandsGateway. Michael will cover some of the following points: how does dropshipping with BrandsGateway work and how you can get started, some tips and ideas about building a successful business, and of course, lastly, we'll present a special offer for BrandsGateway dropshipping service. In the end, we'll also have a 15-minute Q&A session, so you can write down your questions in the chat at any time and I will mark them for answering. Also, just to mention that we will have 2 informative polls. The first one will be shared after Michael's introduction. And lastly, we'll have a recording of this webinar, which will be sent to you by email so that you can rewatch the webinar whenever it's convenient for you again. Okay.
Thank you, Kiki.
Yeah, so we can kickstart with the introduction In the meantime, you can think about the poll that I will share here now.
Perfect. So yes,
And
yes, as Kiki mentioned, so my name is Michael Teakin. I am the founder and CEO of BrandsGateway. Been working within luxury for the past 15 years, and yeah, BrandsGateway has excelled from just a wholesale platform to drop shipping opportunity for a lot of entrepreneurs. So in the meantime, well, let's give them a few seconds to answer the poll here. Because the questions like this gives us a better understanding the type of partners that we have. So it gives us a better understanding on what we should focus on what your goal is as well. I think 50% have answered now. I did notice, Kiki, since COVID, that a lot of people have been trying to create, I think because that's the most popular answer, to generate passive income, because then now they've noticed that they don't have to work from an office, they can work from home a lot as well, depending on the job, obviously. So it's job shipping is an amazing opportunity for that, creating passive income, being flexible with working hours, and so on. I think, okay. So yeah, most of you added to add another stream of income and generate passive income. So, okay, so I know that BrandsGateway will be able to help you, everyone here with those two goals. But yeah, Kiki, should we move on? Okay.
yes, definitely.
Let me just do this. Okay, so what is BrandsGateway? I'm sure that everyone here has visited our website before the webinar. But at the end of the day, BrandsGateway is a sourcing and distribution company. Our main focus is luxury and branded fashion goods. So anything from Dolce & Gabbana to Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger in all various categories. So our goal is that individuals like yourself can start a business within a few days and be able to have an online business that offers 20,000 plus products. So that's what BrandsGateway is at the end of the day. Let's see. Okay, so I didn't want to jump ahead. So what is it that we really do offer? We focus on luxury fashion, and that's where a category is very recession proof, even though that's what everyone is currently hearing. We have seen from the drop shipping business that the monthly revenue or the monthly drop shipping orders are increasing with around 20% month to month. Our main focus, like I said, are luxury brands like Dolce & Gabbana, Gucci, Versace, Michael Kors, Off-White, and we add an average around 2 to 3 brands a month, 500 to 600 new arrivals every single week, meaning that your business, there's never going to be a case where your online business doesn't have any new arrivals for a week or two. We always add every single day new arrivals and new brands monthly. We have around over 70 different categories in the luxury field, in the fashion field. So whether it's, let's see what happened there. So whether it's in the apparel, shoes, accessories, handbags, jewelry, watches. Since this is the first time for many of you joining the webinar, we had our first webinar 3 months ago. Back then we had around 9,000 SKUs to offer our dropshipping partners, and now we doubled that. So we're at 20,000 SKUs, meaning that, and you don't have to dropship all 20,000 SKUs, but that's what we offer for your business. So what are some of the benefits partnering up with us and just dropshipping in general? So one of the biggest benefits is that it's a low risk investment. So traditionally, if you go back 10, 15 years ago, you would traditionally have to buy the inventory up front, pay for your own warehousing, staff, shipping, material, and all of that. And that's something that we cover for you. So all it would initially take is, signing up to BrandsGateway, and then obviously, if you're using Shopify, for example, you have the monthly fee. I think it's $29, and then whatever marketing budget that you have. So it's a lot cheaper to start, a lot cheaper and faster to start a online business today than it was a few years ago. We focus on, worldwide shipping, because I know that a lot of suppliers are limited within Europe or North America and so on. But our focus on BrandsGateway is that we pretty much ship worldwide. I think last year we shipped to over 100 plus countries. And everything is trackable, so we don't send anything with postal service, because that's what many drop shippers, if you look at the way, if you drop ship, for example, from China, a lot of it is being sent with postal service, and you can't track it. It's impossible to see or know when the package is being delivered to your customers. But we ship everything with DHL and FedEx. Orders are being processed within 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours. And we have a return policy of 14 days, meaning that you can securely say to your customers that, hey, if you don't like this product, you can ship it back within 14 days. And that's 14 days from the day that your customer has received the actual item. We focus a lot on partnerships. This isn't BrandsGateway. Our philosophy isn't that, okay, you sign up and then, we wish you the best of luck. We really want to grow together with you. So one of the things that we offer with all our packages is a one-on-one brainstorming session where we offer feedback on your site, on your Shopify, whether it's Shopify or WooCommerce, Wix. We offer some feedback on that and give you some suggestions on changes. And then also we discuss a little bit about marketing tactics that you can focus on, and some of the out-of-the-box ideas that you can generate revenue. And then obviously our main focus is the type of inventory that we have. I can with confidence say that we're one of the few companies in the world that can offer the brands and inventory that we have with the technology behind it. Because it's also still very, very common that a lot of platforms, they offer CSV files, or they ask you to do it manually. But we'll go through that later, some of the benefits with our Shopify app. And I just want to point out that in the meantime, like I said, feel free to ask questions in the chat. We'll go through them. We'll go through them in the end. So
yes, just to answer one question, this will be recorded and the recording will be sent to you by email tomorrow.
Okay. And then the most important question is, how do you actually make money? How does your business profit with partnering with BrandsGateway? So BrandsGateway, what we do is that we offer you luxury goods at wholesale prices, and then what you add a markup on top of that. So I'm going to give you a visual example now. Is that this was shipped from us from Italy. I wanted to show it to you since I am in the US. I wanted to show it to you so you get a better understanding. But these Christian Louboutin shoes, we have them on BrandsGateway right now. This is pretty much how we ship everything out, but I'll show it to you more in details later. These ones retail at 695 euros, which is $795. I think on BrandsGateway we are wholesaling it to you for 220 euros and $240. And we suggest that you would sell it for around 500. So the way you make a profit is by adding a markup on top of the BrandsGateway price, and then you keep the difference pretty much. And you do that on 20,000 goods. So yeah. And here are just some examples, from Dolce & Gabbana bags, Alexander McQueen, and Burberry. So yeah, I'll go through a little bit on how you do the markup through the plugin and all of that later. So now, this is one of the most common things that we get as a feedback from our dropship partners. Okay, we understand it is overwhelming running an online store with thousands of products, and that's why we believe in automation. So we created our own in-house built plugin, both for Shopify, WooCommerce, Wix, and Ship4Shop, that pretty much automates 99% of the work for you. I will go through soon on how to install the plugin, but one of the most important features is that it keeps the real inventory in real time synchronized. meaning that if there's a change of inventory on BrandsGateway, it will automatically be changed on your side as well. It does automatic order placement. So if you receive a order on your Shopify store or WooCommerce store, it's automatically forwarded to your BrandsGateway account or to us, so we know what you have sold and where it needs to be shipped to. Literally, all you need to do is log inside your BrandsGateway account, click on my orders, and then there's going to be a pay button there. As soon as we receive the payment, you'll have the tracking number within a day or two. You can, and there's several other features that we'll go through. The currency converter, whether you're in Europe or Australia or Dubai or US, you select the currency that you want to sell in, and then we'll do the conversion. And it's a very, very simple process. You install the plugin, you choose which brands and categories, but we'll go through that at a later stage.
Okay, so before we continue with the tips and ideas, we have another poll. So I will share it now.
This is ChatGPT. Since the last webinar, I think it was the first webinar we had was in February, and back then ChatGPT was just vaguely mentioned in the news that something was coming, but now it has exploded. So we are interested to see if everyone is using the service. And just to answer one question there while we're waiting, because I saw that there's a few questions about that. Everything that we offer is in brand new condition. It's past season merchandise. So it's not, some of the inventory is current season, but I would say 90+% is past season. That's one of the reasons why we can offer such large discounts and profits on our platform, because we work with vendors and partners that mainly focus on past season, but like I said, everything is in perfect condition. Okay, so let's see. Yes, many of you are familiar with it. Seems like 31%, and then work-related, it's 37%, and for personal use. Okay, so I think we can move on. Kiki. So this is where, compared to the first webinar, we weren't able to discuss about ChatGPT, because I know that a lot of our dropship partners, or the ones that are trying to get into dropshipping, they are confused about the content they need to generate for the website, how they should write it. Maybe there's language barriers that is stopping it. And that's really what now, compared to 3 months ago, ChatGPT really, really eliminates for you. So I wanted to go through some of the best practices with when you're creating an e-commerce store, whether it's on Shopify or WooCommerce. And let's see, I wanted to share my screen a little bit here. Okay. Entire screen. Let me know, everyone, if you can see my screen in a second here. Can everyone see my screen? See, okay, so yes, okay, perfect. So some of the best practices when starting a Shopify store, it might sound basic to a few of you, but this is overwhelmingly that many dropshippers miss. So I took a example. We had a discussion with them this week, and we pointed out a little bit of the feedback that we had to them. This is a dropshipper with us. So here I wanted to start with the footer. So it's really important when you're starting a online store or e-commerce store is that you have the footer information, meaning that not just the terms and services and refund policies and so on, that you also have a about us page, a contact us page. Sometimes people use quick links where they have even the categories in the back and at the bottom of the footer. But we get that question a lot. How can I convince my visitors that everything is authentic and that you can trust us? And the number one detail or feedback that we can give you is the information that you have on your website. Two of the most important things are the contact us page, like I said, and not just to have a simple form where they can write a message, showing your email address, your operating hours, even if it's possible, a WhatsApp number. A lot of now the B2C, a lot of private individuals, especially for high ticket items, they want to have this one-on-one communication. So having a WhatsApp number really increases the conversion rate. And if you don't want to give out your personal number, which I completely understand, just buy a new number, a SIM card, and then you can have that for your business. Because this company specifically does not have it, and that doesn't convey confidence and trust for the users. And it's the same thing with the About Us page. Being able to just share a story, what's the reason behind you starting a fashion outlet store online, making it more personal. I think that also gains the trust of your visitors. And this is where ChatGPT really comes into use. I had a few examples here that I wanted to share with you. This is something that I did last night. So I had asked ChatGPT to create a 500-word About Us page for my discounted luxury fashion. And this is and I wrote some details around it. So for example, 20,000 unique products, discounts up to 70% off, some of the brands, and then we offer worldwide shipping. And this is what it created, which I think is crazy compared to 3 months ago, where a lot of the drop shippers were insecure. Okay, what do I write? And this is exactly what they're doing. So now today, it's never been easier to really start a e-commerce business. And ChatGPT, you can use this so much more than just basic content. You use this for the marketing. You can do this for blog content. There's endless amount. I will always say to everyone, Google it. Just Google how do I use ChatGPT for my e-commerce business, and you will have probably thousands of websites that will show you exactly how you can benefit out of it. Another thing that I thought of that you can to gain more trust was that I asked ChatGPT to create 10 frequently asked questions for my luxury online store. And it came up with 10 questions. Obviously, you can change them, but that's the suggestion. And then I asked it to answer the questions above, and it actually, created some amazing content around that. So having all these footers on your website with the help of ChatGPT, it's never been easier. Another thing is the menu structure. So for example, clothing here. So we have a lot of subcategories, but this specific Shopify store decided not to have any subcategories. So if visitors, let's say, want to specifically buy a t-shirt, they would have to browse through thousands of products to, what was it, 7,000 products, I think, 8,000, almost 9,000 products, because they don't have it categorized by subcategories, neither by men, by gender either. So I wanted to show you, let's see, I can. This is an agency that we have partnered with that builds Shopify stores for our drop shippers. I will go through that a little bit later stage, but just to show you what I mean. So for example, here, these are, so you have subcategories under it. A lot of drop shippers, they just skip that. They just have clothing, shoes, and then they have thousands of products, and visitors can't filter through that. So that's a really important aspect when creating an online store. Also, like I said, About Us, FAQ, they have all the details here. And like I said, LemonDev, I will go through this later, but LemonDev can definitely help you build your Shopify store as well. And here's the footer. They're talking about payment methods, the About Us page, the policies, the Contact Us page. Here you can see that they have the emails, the WhatsApp number, all of that amazing to increase the conversion rate and gain the trust of your users. Analytic tools, have Google Analytics installed, Facebook Pixels implemented so you can do the retargeting of it. Heat mappings, there's a lot of Shopify apps that you can do that will do heat maps. I think, let me see here, heat map, Shopify. I think Lucky Orange is the best one here. So installing apps like this is really beneficial for your business, because what it does, it gives you an overview on how your users are interacting and where they're dropping off. So you can see on this picture, for example, you can see that they're clicking a lot on the Shop Now button, and that gives you information. Okay, what kind of information do I want to add when they click on that? What do I want to display? And also it does screen recording. And then other apps like Klaviyo for your email efforts to send out newsletters about new arrivals, campaigns, and so on. So I hope that this was some informative feedback on what you can do on it. One thing I also wanted to show, I just remembered, was the marketing, how you can use ChatGPT for marketing. Here, this is just for a Facebook ad copy. Create a list of 10 3-second Facebook ads about discounted luxury fashion, and it creates it for you. Get designer look for less, save on luxury fashion, elevate your style game. It creates endless amount of content that you can use. It also does ad copies, because I think that's what a lot of our dropshippers were struggling with, is coming up with the right type of content, and then they try to hire agencies, and that obviously costs a lot of money as well. But now with this amazing tool, it does everything for you. So you can literally create a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad, and ChatGPT will create the content for you. And as well as, it's really good for research purposes. This is something that I tested out yesterday. Was I asked ChatGPT to send me 10 US influencers that I could partner with to promote my website. And I asked it specifically for less than 1 million followers, and to include a reach and engagement rate. And here you can clearly see, okay, that they're below 1 million followers. Obviously, you can ask ChatGPT to do it below 100,000 followers, depending on the budget. And it gives you the engagement rate, the link directly to the Instagram account. So it saves you a lot of time with the research. And you can do this in Germany, Australia, Dubai. I've tested it in 10 different countries. It really gave you a lot of information on that. So if you do decide to work with us, please do use ChatGPT, because it will automate and it will minimize a lot of work for you. So yeah, so I think we can continue to the next slide. Okay, so now we're going to go through some of the two out of the box ideas. Marketplace startups, because a lot of the drop shippers that we speak to, they think automatically to eBay and Amazon when it comes to drop shipping. But there's so many more platforms that you can drop ship and sell on besides eBay and Amazon. So you can do the research on ChatGPT as well, but otherwise Google, you can search on Google, for example, the top 20 startup fashion, the top 20 fashion marketplace startups, and then it will give you a list on what are the up and coming marketplaces. They might not have the same amount of traffic as eBay. I think eBay has around 700-800 million unique visitors a month. But the fashion, the startups, they might have 1 to 2 to 5 or even 10 million visitors. But the difference is that there's a lot less competition, number one, and the marketplaces are a lot more excited to work with you, because you're coming in with such amazing inventory at discounted rates that they're willing to invest more of their marketing dollars into promoting your store on their marketplace. I wanted to, let's do some research really quick. Let me share my screen again. Let's see. I think this is one of the marketplaces that are, I can do eBay just for the, wanted to, these are the shoes that I'm gonna just do a quick research on this just to show how it works. So yeah, these shoes are 220 euros, which is $240, I believe. Now let's see how much they sell for on, let's say, eBay. I think I did the research before that, but where is it with brand new? Yeah, so here, so it's selling for 25% less. This one is 596, 600, 675. So our price is 240, and you would be selling this for, let's say, 550 on eBay. So that would leave you around $300 minus the eBay fees or commission. I think they're at what, 12% now, 10, 12%, something like that on eBay. And this is just one marketplace. Like I said, you can try it out on this one, see what they have. Yeah, 920. These seem a little bit used, I think. 595. So, you know, depending on the marketplace you sell outside of your Shopify store, you can also generate income outside of your e-commerce. The main difference is that with having customers in your e-commerce stores that you own technically the customer, so you can retarget them, you can promote them, you can try to get them back to your business after they bought something from you. Versus if you're selling through marketplaces, they own the customer data, so it's a lot harder for you to get that retention. So there's ups and downs, pros and cons with selling on marketplaces. Let's see. I think we can start with an. Oh, wait, let me see. I think I have to stop sharing for you to get to the next slide. Okay, flash deals. Okay, so there's another great segment to partner with. I know most of you must know companies like Groupon, for example, that what they do is that they run a campaign for X amount of days. So usually anywhere from 3 to 7 days. And what you can do is contact or partner with a company like Groupon. There's thousands of them that do flash deals. And you tell them, okay, this is my online store. We want to run a campaign on, let's say, Tommy Hilfiger polos or swim shorts from Karl Lagerfeld or whatever you have, or with Kevin Klein wallets. So you set up a campaign with them, and then you contact us and you inform us that, hey, I'm going to run a campaign with Touch of Modern. This is one of the platforms that two of our drop shippers have partnered with. So you let us know, okay, doing, let's say, May 10th until May 17th, we're going to be running these campaigns with these products. Can you reserve them for us? And what we do is that we will reserve the items for you. After the campaign ends, you place the orders with us, and then we ship it out to either the logistics center of the flash site or directly to the end consumer. Every single flash deals site has different terms when it comes to logistics. But that's another great way to generate revenue outside of the actual e-commerce store. And like just a reminder, keep asking questions. We'll go through all of the questions soon. So the main question: how do you get started with BrandsGateway? It's a very, very simple process. So I'm gonna show you what the step-on-step guide is. I'm gonna share my screen again. Let's see here. Everyone, can everyone see it? Yes. Okay. So you simply go to the pricing plans, and you can choose which platform you prefer to work with. Now I'm just going to show you with Shopify, but we do have a WooCommerce plugin shift for Shop and Wix. And with all our packages, it includes the REST API and the CSV file in case you want to use that. But now for Shopify, I'll show you. This is just a standard trial store that I created yesterday. So you search for it here. You can either go search for it directly from your Shopify store, or you just simply click here and you land up at the same place. You can watch a video of me explaining a little bit more, but yeah, I think the webinar is a little bit more detailed. You click on Add App, install the app. And it's loading. Let's see. There we go. So this is where we're now offering for the next 2 weeks. So this is our offer with this webinar, is that everyone signing up with us within the next 2 weeks, we're offering now 20% discount on the monthly and annual package. It's not limited just to Shopify. It's also available for WooCommerce through all the packages that we offer. So you simply write the coupon code here. I created this for webinar. I think the actual coupon code, you'll see it on the other slide. It's WebMay23. But in this case, I just added the word test on it. And there you'll see that you got now a 20% discount. You get the same for each package, because we get that question a lot. Is there any difference between the monthly and the annual package? There's really no difference. You have access to the same amount of inventory, the same services, everything. It's just that the longer you decide to work with us, the more additional discount we offer. But then you need to be, you're going to be billed for the entire year upfront compared to the monthly package where you pay month to month. You can always upgrade at a later point. So if you want to start with the monthly and then upgrade to the annual package, you can always do that. But I think around 70% choose the annual package because it just makes more financial sense and less headache that you have to worry about monthly billing. But in this case, I would just activate it here. Approve. Okay, it's because I installed it previously. Okay, so this, let me see here. I was gonna go through step by step, but then the plugin was already installed previously. Give me a second here. Let me just delete everything. Sorry, everyone. Give me a few. I think I forgot to delete the account. But it's a very simple process. You pretty much choose the brands, the categories, you add a markup. There's some sync settings, but let me see here if I can do this really quick. Install. Okay. Almost done here. Okay, let's try it again now. I hope it works, because I usually sometimes have to let the developers know to delete the account completely. Okay, I'm sharing my screen again. So let's add the app one more time. And so we'll write the coupon code here again, WebMay23, test, apply. Let's see what it does now. Otherwise, I can show you a little bit around the dashboard, but let's see. Okay, perfect. Now it works. So you enter the email, your BrandsGateway email here. You can use any email you want, but we prefer that you use the email that is connected to your BrandsGateway account so that the order automation works. So I'm just gonna write now a random email here. Validate API. Okay, so this is the first part of the installing the plugin. You choose the currency that you wish. The pricing rule, rounding rule is so that, for example, so that if you add a markup and the selling price on your website is, instead of it being $227, it would round it up to $229 instead. So it has, you have a more frequent last digit throughout your whole entire website. Include the brand name in the product title. So instead of it saying, for example, black leather shoe, it would say Christian Louboutin black leather shoe. Here is the information that you want to keep synchronized between BrandsGateway and your shop and your online store. Whether it's Shopify or WooCommerce, the features are the same. Meaning that if you want to change the product title after the import, you unselect that, and then you can make the changes on your Shopify store without it being changed to the original format. But after you decided that, you click on register, so you get to the next page. And this is where you select the brands. You can either, there's no limitations with our package, you can resell all the brands that we have. Otherwise, you can manually select the brands. Some of the brands are limited, but then we always restock them eventually. So sometimes we have a lot of Gucci, sometimes we don't, but we always restock. But in this case, I would just do everything. You can select from which park and warehouses you want to dropship from. Well, let's say if you're in Europe and you don't want to dropship from the US warehouses, you can do that. But most of our inventory that we offer are, I would say 90+% is located within the EU. But like I said, from every warehouse location, we do offer worldwide shipping. And this is where you do the category mapping. So these are all the categories that we have on BrandsGateway. Like I said, it's probably over 100 categories that we offer. So I created already in advance some collections on Shopify that we map to. So men's sneakers. So the way it works is you can do it in two ways. You can be very selective. Let's say you only want to do men's shoes or men products, then you can only choose, you have the option to only choose men categories. If you only want to do women products, then you can choose only the women categories. And it is the same thing with all the subcategories. So if we go down to shoes, now we're selecting men's sneakers, but for some reason, if you don't want to have boots, then you just don't map the category men boots. Then it will skip all those products. So in this case, we'll do the men's sneakers. The margin is the markup that you want to add on top of the selling price. So like I said, these shoes are $240 on BrandsGateway. If you add a let's say 2.1 markup, I think it's a comma, it's 2.1. That means that you would be selling the shoes for $504. But with the pricing rule that I mentioned, it will be $509. But that's pretty much how the margin works. We suggest, depending on the category, we suggest anywhere from 1.9 to 2.5. Handbags, since they are at a higher price point, 1.9, 2.0 is enough. Sunglasses and watches, they have a really high profit margin, so we suggest anywhere from 2.1 to 2.5. But that's up to you. You can always change it at a later point. Then we have a fixed shipping value feature where you can add the shipping cost inside the product price so that you can offer free shipping. So let's say the average shipping cost to the US is, let's say, $30. That means that you will be selling this shoe for $504 plus 30. So $534, $539, you would be selling that shoe for, because you have added the shipping fee already into the product price, and that way you can offer free shipping on your site. Or you can do above $200, you can offer free shipping. You have the flexibility to do that. And then you pretty much continue with it. Here's the second one, women's clothing. So if you don't want to do subcategory by subcategory, you can do the main category like clothing women. What that will do, it will import all of these subcategories under it. So let's do 2, and then we do 30 here. And then we start the import. What happens in the back end now, you will see that the products are being created in your Shopify store. You can see that it creates a list. And it takes a few minutes for the product until you start seeing the products being imported. So I would say probably 5 to 10 minutes where you can see it, but you can follow the entire process here. So 643 products are in queue. right now. So you can follow the entire process there. Settings, this is how it works. You can always customize, you can play around with them. You can always go back and change the settings that we went through that are displayed. And what happens as well is that once you have signed up, you have an active subscription with us on BrandsGateway, and that will unlock a special part of the dashboard for you here. So we also provide marketing resources to all active dropshippers. Here, there's some ebooks that you can read, a step-by-step guide about marketing, social media design templates, how to set up your ads. Most importantly, the premium content that you can use for TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and so forth. So we update these usually on a monthly basis. These are the new ones that we did. I think there's more coming. So these are the type of unboxing videos. And all of this is included in the packages. I think we have around 100 videos that you can use for your marketing campaigns, and through various brands as well. So this kind of content we have noticed is performing very, very well because it's more user-generated content. Yeah, and there's different various products that we do. And we also have that for images. And that, I believe, we update every 2 weeks. So you can use that, like I said, for your homepage, for your homepage banners, for marketing and so on. So these are all included as well. And we update these every 2 weeks. And this is unlocked to you as soon as you have signed up to the service. So yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing. Okay. I know that there's a lot of questions, so let's see.
I already marked them for
let's go to the questions. Or do we have a few more slides, right?
Yes, let me go back here.
Oh yeah, the partnership with Lemon Dev. So one of the things that we have got from feedback from dropshippers is that they either don't have the time, maybe they don't have the experience to build a Shopify store themselves. So what we did is that we partnered up with a Shopify agency that can build your Shopify store for you, install the plugin and everything. What's unique about this partnership is that they have developed a Shopify theme specifically for BrandsGateway. So for example, that all the product images are exactly the same size, so they're not, so they're aligned. So you don't see a product image with a certain size and then next to it, there's one that is bigger. So it's a very clean look. They do literally the entire process, setting up your collections, your menus, your footers, installing the payment gateway, installing the BrandsGateway plugin. Daniel he's an amazing individual. He has built 50 plus Shopify stores for our dropshippers. I've never heard a single complaint about the guy. What you can do after the call is book let me just share I keep going back and forth with the sharing the screen, but you can book a call with him. So you can read more about the service by clicking here, turnkey solution. So for dropshippers, turnkey solution. Here you can find some benefits of what his template does. And then most importantly, you can book a call with him. So if you want to learn more about it and speak to Daniel directly, feel free to book a call with him. It's 15, 30 minutes long, and he will explain to you a little bit of the process. Once he has developed the store for you, you'll have an onboarding call with you to show you how everything works. So like I said, he has developed 50 plus stores and never heard a single complaint about Daniel. And I was able to convince him to offer all attendees in this webinar also a 20% discount for his package. So compared to a lot of agencies that charge a monthly fee or yearly fee, a setup fee, and this fee, Lemondev, they just charge a one-time fee. He develops the store and that's it. And then, of course, if you need help along the way, you can always reach out to him again. I think it's 1,990 euros as a one-time fee, which is, I believe, like $2,100, $2,200, the original price, but then you get 20% now. So that's also available for anyone attending the webinar here.
So, Mike, just because we have one question, can I get the discount code for Lemon?
It's the same.
They will also.
Yeah, it's the same discount code as BrandsGateway. So I messaged him today in the morning if we can use the same coupon code. There you go. WebMate23. So you use that on BrandsGateway, and you can use that in the same checkout by Lemondev. So it's the same coupon code, and you get 20%. Oh, there you go. Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Does it?
Here is the pop-up. I hope that everyone can see it. You can click on Get Offer Now. The button will lead you to our landing page where you can see all of the packages based on platform, and you can use the code. The code is only different for the Wix platform. You can see when you click on Wix, you can see the code on the left side.
Yeah, and like I said, or maybe the offer page doesn't link to Lemondev as well. Do they have to go through BrandsGateway to do that through the website?
Through BrandsGateway.
Okay, well, either go to lemon.dev or do it through BrandsGateway, and you can enter the coupon code. And like I said, feel free to book a call with Daniel. He will consult you a little bit how everything works, but he once you provide him all the details, I think he can have the store up and running for you within 5 days, depending how many orders now with the webinar, how many he will get, but usually 5 days. So yeah, Kiki, I think we are ready for some questions. 2 stars. Just to answer one quick one, because they asked how valid is it. It's for 2 weeks. So the offer both from BrandsGateway and Lemondev is valid for 2 weeks.
Okay, we can start from the marked questions, or Mike, you can start answering the questions, and the new ones that will come, I will mark them as well.
I'm just wondering, how do I publish it? How do I publish the, let me see here.
And if you want to answer a question, just click on
Answer live.
Answer live, so that after that it's answered and it will disappear, I think.
Okay, so let me see here. There's a lot of questions, so I don't think we're going to go through all of them, but let's see. So question is it possible to send drop shipping with its own label, or do you guys plan to give other cheaper options for shipping later? So you can provide your own shipping labels to us as well. During the checkout process, there's a feature where you can upload the PDF file of the shipping label, and then we'll use that. Secondly, I forgot to mention that as well, that all the shipping labels are white labeled, so meaning that it will be your website name or your company name on the shipping label. For the cheaper options, we are always negotiating with DHL and FedEx. One major move that we are now considering on a serious note is that we're switching from DHL in Italy to FedEx because they're just offering us better rates. The delivery time will be 1 or 2 days longer, which I don't think is the end of the world. But then we'll be able to lower the shipping price by around 30% of it from all the warehouses. Okay. Okay, this one I'll just click here. I think I showed it to you in the very end. So we do provide advertising material, such as videos and photos. Everything that you see that we create, there is no copyright infringement, so you can use them freely. Be careful when, or not be careful, just don't go inside Google and write, I don't know, Versace handbag and start taking videos and images from other websites, because there's a risk of you getting blocked or banned from the advertising platforms. So use the material that we have, or you can find a freelancer that can create the material that you want. We are discussing now with an agency that can create custom UGC videos for our dropshippers. So that will be announced in a few, I would say maybe in 2-3 months from now. Okay, let me see. My main question is, do you recommend to build a website that contains several products or to focus on one niche brand? Oh, good question. Since we have such a wide selection of inventory, 20,000 products, you have access to everything, but it's really up to you on how much of the inventory you want to sell. My suggestion is that that you do at least 3,000 to 5,000 SKUs. You can focus either, if you really want to be niche, you can do it based on the category. So let's say you only want to do handbags, and you can all run out e-commerce handbags, so just focus on the luxury. Or you can do just apparel, or you can just do clothing. I understand it might be overwhelming having a e-commerce store with 20,000 products, and that's why we allow you to filter through the categories what you want to resell. My recommendation would be, though, the most sold categories are handbags in general, shoes like sneakers, and then depending on the season, now we're selling a lot of sunglasses and t-shirts and shorts. So it really depends on the season. On it, during the winter months, we sell a lot of sweaters, winter jackets, boots, and so on.
Here's another one.
What other brands should we expect that aren't already on BrandsGateway in the near future? The thing is, we have added a lot of brands the past 3 months. A lot. So I think we have added 50 plus new brands, from US Polo, Tommy Hilfiger, Ralph. Yeah, so I think Philip Plain is one that we are currently discussing with our warehouse partners to source. One of our warehouse partners in Milan, they did a test run with CP company that ran very well, so they're planning, or they're trying to source that as well. What else? Restocking on Gucci now and Versace as well, but some new brands. Not at the moment, I would say. We are planning on increasing a lot on the watches and categories, but that's already from the existing brands that we have. So like Kevin Klein jewelry and Kevin Klein watches, Michael Kors jewelry. And then there's some brands like Thomas Sabo, which is a German jewelry brand that we're going to be introducing. So in the next 2 months, we're going to be expanding our selection in jewelry, watches, and sunglasses. So let's see. How about the quality of the good first, second, and third quality? Not sure what the grading system is, but everything is brand new. There's no imperfection or defects or worn. In case there's something that your customer receives that could be a small defect, there could be cases that your customer receives it, and that in that scenario, you contact us. We send you a return label, and your customer just ships it back to us for a full refund. So we do have operations in place in case it happens, which it doesn't happen often. But let's see, what is that? How do you manage client services in these aspects? Money back, final price, including taxes, when exporting sizes. Okay, there's a lot of questions. Let's see, how do you manage client services in these money back? So the way it works, I think I think what the user is asking about is refunds for a return. So if your customer decides to return it within the 14-day period, they ship it back to us. Once we have quality control of the product, within 1 to 2 days of us receiving it back to one of our warehouse partners, that we just make a full refund back to you. And then final price, including taxes when exporting. Final price, including taxes. So I don't understand. So your question with final price, including taxes when exporting. If you want to, you can mention it in the bottom and I'll go through that if you can be more clear. Sizes, depending on the brand, we are limited on certain sizes because a lot of our partners, they source past season inventory, meaning that they might have a sweater just in small and medium, not an large and XL. But that's one of the reasons why on our platform we can have such large discounts and profit margins. And one of the things that we have noticed is that it creates an urgency for your customers to purchase it faster. But then we also have a lot of inventory that we have a full size range and quantities behind. A lot of the more medium end brands like Kevin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, we have everything from extra small to extra large with quantities behind. Okay. Okay, let me see. Here, Givenchy, Bowman, Versace and Gucci, Gucci we're gonna restock. Versace is currently being processed in the photo room. There are some brands that is impossible to source. I really want to point that out. So be careful if there is companies that are saying that, hey, they can supply your business brand new, perfect condition, Louis Vuitton and Chanel and Hermes. It is impossible to get these brands. So do be careful if any company says, hey, it's in perfect condition. There is a lot of business in the pre-owned market with these brands, and that's something that we are considering to get into, maybe before the holiday season. But for Louis Vuitton and Chanel and Hermes, really be careful with that. And also Celine is really hard to source. So just be careful with that. How can I sell on when I don't? Okay, how can I sell on other platforms when I don't have the inventory myself? So that's the whole point of drop shipping, is that you can sell on other platforms without you actually owning the inventory. You add a markup. Once you have sold it and received the payment from your customer, you place the order with us and we ship it straight to your customer without you ever receiving the order. Do I need to have a VAT number to order from you, or is it, or can I just resell for myself? So the VAT, if you're within the European Union, if you don't want to be charged VAT on the subscription, we don't require you to have VAT, but you're gonna have to pay VAT fees on it if you're within the European Union. If you're a drop shipper that is located outside of the EU, South Africa, Australia, US, Canada, it's not required. So yeah, but we don't require you to actually have a VAT if you're within the European Union, but you might have to pay additional fees around that. What would be a good marketing budget if running also if? So the average marketing budget, it depends on so this is one of the biggest mistakes dropshippers do. They might have a low marketing budget of, let's say, $10, $15 a day, $20 a day, but they target the entire country of US. And that doesn't give you a lot. The way the algorithm works is they try to spend, it will eat up your marketing budget fairly quick. So if you do have a very, very low, if you do have a low marketing budget of anywhere from $10 to $20 a month, focus on cities instead of the entire country. So if you're, I don't know, in the US, focus on Phoenix, where right now I'm in Phoenix, but focus on Phoenix, LA, and then don't do too many cities at once, because that will just eat up your budget. And do A/B testing. So run don't just create one ad, create 5 ads, put a budget of $2, $3 per ad, let it run for 5 days, see which ones are performing best, and then just close the ones that are not performing very well. But TikTok is an amazing platform to advertise on. And we have the videos for you to do that. Okay, let me see here. The store that your partner makes, is that separate from my website? From a website I created? I paid a company yesterday to make a website that they said they can be. I am confused. So now I don't know what kind of agreement that you have with that agency, but if they're using Shopify, you don't need to have another website. You can use the Shopify account that you have, that the agency is developing for you, and all they need to do is, or you need to do, is install our plugin, our Shopify plugin. So I hope that clears it up. I'm building my own website. We offer, yes, we have our own REST API that you can, so you can develop your own integration with us, or our CSV file that updates every 3 hours. Yeah, so we're asking, there's something, a few questions about payment gateways. So for example, Shopify has their own Shopify payment gateway. From our experience, Shopify in general doesn't, they're a little bit limited or strict with branded goods, not just fashion, it could be electronics in any category. So we suggest that you use, you know, PayNow, Klarna, PayPal, you know, use some national local payment providers. From our experience, you know, there's no issues with that. I think 90% of job shippers are using PayPal, PayNow. Some of them are using Klarna as well. Klarna is limited on certain countries. I know it's pretty big now in the US. Not sure they're in Australia. I know that they're around Europe, but yeah. How long does it take to move all products from BrandsGateway to WooCommerce? That really depends on your hosting speed. It could take anywhere from, for Shopify, for example, it takes, if you import the entire catalog, 8 to 9 hours, I would say. For WooCommerce, it really depends on your hosting. So anywhere from 6 hours up to 48 hours. It really depends on your hosting provider. Let's see. Sorry, we won't be able to go through all the questions. So can you say that lost? Can you say that lost again for the payments, please? So the Diane, for the payment solution, do so I'm trying to understand. Can you say lost again for the payment? So focus on local payments. Shopify payments is a little bit strict for branded goods. Like I said, it's not just fashion categories, in all categories. So PayPal is a really good platform to use. We use PayPal, for example. So really, PayPal is the fastest and easiest way to get it up and running. But like I said, PayNow, Stripe. I know that Stripe's policy is that they're a little bit against drop shipping in general. So I think you can reach out to their support team. Klarna, we do have drop shippers using Klarna, so I'm not sure why they declined you. Maybe it has something to do with your company registration. I'm not sure. We do offer a reseller certificate, meaning that we give you pretty much the permission to resell the inventory that we have on BrandsGateway. So it's a reseller certificate that you can provide to your payment provider as well. Can Shopify handle 20,000 SKUs? I think the limit on Shopify is 50,000, so that shouldn't be a problem. Do I have to manually import new products? Oh no, so that's a good question. So with the plugins that we offer with WooCommerce and Shopify, all the new arrivals will automatically be imported to your Shopify store. So if we upload, I don't know, 50 new shoes, it will be automatically imported to your Shopify store with the markup and so on. It's just how are the packaging done and sending? So let's say I only now I'm not in one of the warehouses, but so here it's the Christian Louboutin shoebox. So this is how pretty much your customer will receive the package. We put it inside a DHL or FedEx padded pack, so it will be branded with DHL and FedEx. There is this, I don't know if I can show you, but yeah, so it's pretty much tag. Let me see if I can show this. Everyone can see this. Okay, there you go. Can you remove, actually, let me see if I can click on that offer thing. Yeah, and then it comes obviously the dust bags and all that. So this is how we, and like I said, the shipping label does come with your brand on it. This is will you restock on the inventory of CP company? We're trying. Prada is one of the brands that we're discussing with our warehouse partners to source. I'm personally flying to Italy next week to discuss with our vendors and our resellers to prepare for the summer season, the holiday season, to get more brands in. Will the automation build the whole? Kiki, do you know what this? Are you referring to Lemonade? Oh no, wait.
No, I think for the import, automated import, I guess, of products.
Okay, so once you have done the category mapping, so once you have mapped our categories with your categories, it will be automated. So all the new arrivals will automatically be updated into that specific category, and you can filter them through Shopify tags. We have tutorial videos of this afterwards, by the way. So once you have signed up, you'll have tutorial videos, and if you need help with onboarding yourself, book a call. Book a call with us, and we will guide you through it by screen sharing. Can I order some inventory home to myself and then resell, so not drop shipping? Yes. So if you don't want to drop ship, if you don't want to do drop shipping, you can buy in bulk or wholesale, and the minimum is €1,000, so $1,100. So if you don't have a drop shipping account with us, every order needs to be at least €1,000 or $1,100. So you can go on BrandsGateway, pick and choose whatever you like, and we'll send it to you. So you can, resell it on your own. Some drop shippers do that because they know that some of the new arrivals that we upload, that they're able to sell it fairly quickly themselves. So they just buy the inventory, and then there's less competition. Okay, there's Ahmed. Let me see. How do you mark questions? Okay. I've been adding products manually. I didn't know about the automation. Should I delete the products and add them through?
I already marked one for answering.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Well, what is the disadvantage or advantages of month-to-month? Well, the monthly and the yearly package, you get the same value. I think the only advantage that I see with the month-to-month is that you get to try it out for 2-3 months. The service, if drop shipping is right for you, and so on. That's really the biggest advantage, I would say, is the month-to-month plan, is that you get to try it out without you having to sign up for the entire year. The disadvantage would be just that it is a bit more expensive than the annual package, but you get the same services, whether it's month-to-month or the annual package. Okay, Noah, I would try my best to restock on the CP company, and the sunglasses the sunglasses. We're onboarding a new warehouse out of Spain, and they will add a lot of sunglasses and frames and watches. You're welcome, Matthew. It was a pleasure speaking with everyone here. May I edit? Let's see here. May I edit the videos and photos you provide? Yes. A lot of the videos will come with sound or music, so you have the freedom to edit and adjust it as you like.
And just to add here that we also have the social media pack in the dashboard. So if you sign up for one of our dropshipping packages, you'll get access to a social media pack which contains templates for social media which you can edit and modify by yourself.
Okay, thank you.
Through Figma.
How mark this as a question? Here's a good question. Any challenges that South Africa experiences in this business? We ship to South Africa weekly, so there's really not an issue when it comes to taxes and customs and so on. Obviously, it's out of our control, but I know that certain countries they have the way you if it's declared under a certain amount, then there's no customs or taxes. For example, in the U.S., anything under $800 is not subject to taxes or custom charges. And we don't declare the inventory as the price that you sold it for. We declare it as the BrandsGateway price. So we don't have a lot of issues with that, honestly. Do you have anyone to help us with our marketing advertising for out the website? Yeah, so we're currently we're going to be launching this partnership fairly soon. We're currently working on the landing page of BrandsGateway. So there's a marketing agency that we have vetted, tested, discussed with now for the past few months. They will set up your Google Merchant account, your Facebook, Instagram, all of that. You can read a little bit more about it on ads360.io. So, but it will be soon launched on the BrandsGateway website as well. So, because we don't do the advertising, that's not what our strength is. But what we do is partner up with companies that can bring a lot of value to you, like Lemondev, to build your Shopify store. Okay, if we offer 10% discount, so you control you don't have to consult with us when you want to run your own campaigns. You have 100% control on how you want to run your business. Obviously, this is where the margin comes into place. So if you do a markup, our minimum requirement for a markup is 1.5, so 150%. But that doesn't give you a lot of space to run a promotion or like a 10% discount because it just eats up your profit. So that's why one of the main reasons why we also say 1.9 to 2.5 markup is that you can offer 10% discounts on the first orders, or if it's Black Friday, you can afford up to 20-30% discount and still make a decent profit on it. Or if it's Mother's Day, so it really depends on the margin. So the more margin markup that you do, the better and bigger discounts you can offer, but it's nothing that you need to consult with us for. Are we getting there? Do I need a firm in order to work with you, and can you provide invoices? So you don't need a company to work with us. It's not required from our side. Now, if you're generating, I think in the UK, for example, if you don't need to create a company until you have generated £10,000 in revenue. But don't hold me to it. Google it. But I think in the UK, there's a lot of countries like that have these. If you reach X amount, then you need to register for a company. But just to get it up and running, a lot of countries don't require that. So do some research, but to work with us, you don't need to at all. Okay, what is the typical shipping time? So the general shipping time within the EU with DHL is 1 to 2 days. With FedEx is 3 days. But like I said, we're planning on switching from DHL to FedEx just so that we can lower the shipping prices. But with FedEx, outside of the EU, it's 4.8 days. So let's say 5 days in average, and within the EU, 2 days, 3 days. And there are some remote areas where it could take up to 7 to 10 days. It doesn't happen often. But if your customers at a remote area where FedEx doesn't have a logistics center, then it could increase to 7 to 10 days because they pass on the package to a third party logistic company. But in average, 3 to 5 days. And everything is trackable, so you can track everything online. How are the returns handled? Mark has a question. So if you do If you do get a return from your customer or a return request, you inform our support team through live chat, email, WhatsApp, telling them, okay, this is the order number that we wish to return. Here are the items within the order. And then you have two options to either just ship it back. They will send you this not description, the process of how to return it back to which warehouse. And then you can either buy the return label from us or that you can just arrange it yourself. And then once we have received the item back and it's in the condition that we send it out, we'll just refund you the fees. But we are working on automating the return process so that you can do it through your My Account page. So we're working on that so you don't have to contact us through WhatsApp. So I want to auto match BrandsGateway recommended. Is that power drive? So the recommended retail price is the market price on BrandsGateway. So you will see on, like, for example, this on BrandsGateway, I think it was $6.95. So the $6.95 price will be imported to your e-commerce store, whether it's Shopify or WooCommerce. So the retail price will always be imported to your store as well. It's not just your selling price. You will have two prices that will be displayed on your store: the retail price and the selling price. Okay. Here. Why did you remove the 3-month subscription for Shopify users? That was a few months back. The reason is that before we were a private app, we weren't a public app on Shopify, so we had more flexibility on payment methods, on packages, and so on. But Shopify switched their policies that we needed to be a public app, because before, when you went inside the Shopify app marketplace and you search for BrandsGateway, nothing was, we weren't visible there. And they don't allow a 3 months package there. They allow monthly or yearly, pretty much. So that's why. If WooCommerce, is it possible to add catalog to exist? Yes, so existing catalog, I'm guessing existing inventory. So you can drop ship with us even if you have other suppliers that you're working with or your own inventory. There's a very small chance, extremely small chance that there's an EAN number that we use and that you have and then from a different supplier. The chances are, very, very small. But in that case, you will just have two EAN numbers, one with two different product listings. But like I said, a very small chance that you find a platform that offers the same amount of the same type of inventory that we have. Okay, do you provide automatic tracking link for your website? So when you provide us your customer email, we'll add that inside FedEx and they will receive the emails from the freight company. We are working on that. I think we might already have that. I need to check with our developers, but that the tracking details are automatically imported to your Shopify store as well. How many more questions do we have, Kiki? So this one is important, actually. How do you control lost packages? Can you? So we do not, there really doesn't happen often with lost packages. I would say less than like 0.1%. We deal with maybe a lost package once a month and we ship out hundreds of orders a day. What happens is that we open up a case with FedEx or DHL, most likely in the future now with FedEx. And then if it is declared as lost, we get, we will pretty much refund the package to, we will refund the order to you, and then we get the insurance from FedEx. Can you ask for signature upon delivery? We do that with the more expensive items, because it does, FedEx and DHL started to charge that. So we do it for, $1,000 plus orders. But the issue sometimes with that is that they still don't do it. We enter the option that, hey, signature is required, but then the FedEx driver still drops off the package. Same thing with these shoes that I have right here. It was shipped from Italy. I specifically asked them to require signature because I wanted to test it, and they just dropped off the package in front of the door. So it's never 100% guaranteed because it's out of our control how the delivery driver does it. But we do have that option, yes. Do you find, let me see. Do you find that people need to have a social media? No. In order to start me, no, not at all. I think 95%, 95% above don't have, any social media following, just friends and family, I guess. So no, you don't. You really don't need to have a massive amount of following to generate, to start making sales. Okay, so there's the how what okay, I understand the point of drop, but if I want to sell on eBay in hand, how can I sell there if I don't know? Well, in that case, you need to buy the inventory up front, like wholesale. So you need to buy the inventory and then we ship it to you so you can sell it on hand. Otherwise, drop shipping, you can personal. If you want to sell it in person, then you need to buy the inventory up front and then you can resell it. For eBay, for example, there's multiple ways of selling on importing the products through eBay. Shopify has a eBay plugin. You can use our CSV file or a third-party platform like Channel Engine, Channel Advice. There's thousands of these third-party integrators. Is it possible to select individual products and not entire? We actually had a customer survey now for the past 3 weeks of our existing dropshippers about this question. And we summarized that it was over 90% didn't want to do the individual products because you have to imagine that you would have to browse through 20,000 products to individually select, and then you have to map them inside your Shopify collection. So it's an endless amount of work. But we are introducing more filters in the category mapping so that you have more filters so that you can be more specific on the products that you want to have on your brands, on your e-commerce store. So we're going to be introducing a lot more filters, and not just the brands and and categories. We're going to add more filters like discount from retail, quantities, and much more. Okay, if a customer orders 5 items from 2 different warehouses, that's huge. So they will receive 2 packages in that case. And that depends on how you set it up on your Shopify store. So you can charge for both shipments, or you can charge only for 1 shipment. But from us, from BrandsGateway standpoint, we do charge for 2 shipments. But realistically speaking, I think 97% of all orders are single item goods. It doesn't happen very often. Well, I would say maybe 95%, where there's 2 items from 2 different warehouses that they buy from. Because usually they wouldn't buy a Dolce & Gabbana sweater and a Calvin Klein t-shirt. They usually stick within the same price range. So usually it doesn't happen often that you will get orders from 2 different warehouses. But in that case, you pay, yeah. I work for Nordstrom and they always get lost packages. Let me see. I can't speak for Nordstrom, but we don't have a lot of lost packages, to be honest. So, like I said, it's less than 1%. We really don't get a lot of lost packages. Because the thing is, you need to also make sure that your customer that they get the information as well, that the package is on the way. So sending them a personal email saying that, hey, the package is on the way. It's going to be delivered between 10 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. if they can be at home or some sort. But yeah, we really don't get a lot of lost packages. What about SEO tools? ChatGPT. I'm not a marketing expert, actually, to be honest, but with ChatGPT, it has, you know, it really has made life easier when it comes to running your SEO efforts. Uh, oh, sorry, Kiki, I just clicked that. Wait, what's 10 apps to use for Shopify, right?
Apps for our Shopify store that you can recommend.
Kiki, don't we have a blog article about that?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, so I think check out our blog. Yeah, check out our blog as well, because we recommend a lot of Shopify apps that you can use to for marketing and just customer service and content. So really, I don't know 10 apps out of my head immediately. Like Lucky Orange is really good. Klaviyo is really good. Obviously, Google Analytics you need to have. So, but check out the check out our blog. Do you know if Shopify can build an wait, okay, 1 second.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
For someone that is new to drop shipping, do you have? Yeah, so if you're new to drop shipping, we do offer a one-on-one brainstorming session. Once you have signed up and you set up your store and you feel that you're 99% satisfied with it, book a one-on-one call. It's either going to be me or someone else in the team, depending on the time zone, but most of the time it's me. But book a one-on-one call. We give you some feedback on your website, and then we discuss some marketing tactics as well. Okay, I think we're done. Oh, do we? Let me see. Do you? Okay, I wanted to answer this one. Do you know if Shopify can build? So Shopify doesn't actually build the app. I'm not sure if there's a plugin for that, but you know, a lot of the Shopify themes are mobile friendly. So yeah, so if you're, I don't know if you're referring to an actual app where people need to download it from the App Store. So I'm not 100% sure, but a lot of the Shopify themes are mobile friendly, especially the LemonDev template, the Shopify agency that we are partnered with. Their mobile version is spot on. So, did we miss a question?
Yes, let me see.
Yeah, I think I found it, Ahmed. Yeah.
Ahmed was asking, he already imported manually some products and he's asking after he signs up. Yeah,
Okay.
this one. After he signs up, should he
Okay.
delete all?
Yeah, you would have to delete them, because if you have uploaded them manually in your store, that means, and then once you install the plugin, you're gonna have duplicated products in that case. So yeah, take this Christian Louboutin shoe as an example. If you uploaded this manually and then you install our Shopify plugin, you will have two shoes of this same SKU. So you do need to delete it, and it's pretty much it's a nightmare to upload products manually, honestly, because like I said, we have 20,000 products. How are you going to keep everything updated? Our plugin will update everything for you. Here's a good question. Do I sign up with Lemon first, or your first, then Lemon? It doesn't. Good question. It doesn't really matter, because Daniel is going to ask you to. So I'm just thinking about the process here. I would suggest, if you're interested in using LemonDev, I would suggest that sign up to LemonDev first, and then Daniel will tell you, like, you know, sign up for BrandsGateway. Because the way I'm thinking is that if you decide to sign up for the monthly or annual package, so you don't lose the days with Daniel building the website for you. So I would suggest that you sign up with LemonDev first. Let him have an onboarding call with him, give him all the details to let him build a Shopify store. And then after maybe the third day, he will ask you to sign up for Brands Gateway. But those first 3 days, you don't lose them on your subscription. But if it doesn't matter for you, then it doesn't matter if you sign up to Brands Gateway first. Yes, so this is a common question that we got from doing our survey with existing dropshippers. We are working on a system that we will notify you with new arrivals and restocked inventory, so that you will get it notified through the Shopify app and through the Brands Gateway dashboard as well. But it's currently under development. We're improving the way we communicate with new arrivals for you. I think we answered all the questions, right? Or not, maybe not all of them, but some of them. Please answer the question below before ending. I've been adding. Okay, no, Ahmed, that's the same. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if he didn't listen to your answer. That he would have to.
Ahmed, I answered your question, but there's a pre-recording as well that we will send to you. Is there any questions that we didn't go through? Just let's take 30 seconds if anyone wants to still write. And I have a question for everyone here. So after this webinar that we shared with you, how likely are you to sign up within the next 30 days? Do you see that? Do you feel that there's a lot of value that BrandsGateway can bring to your business? I would love to hear some feedback from everyone in this webinar.
Okay, someone suggested Daniel because he did an amazing job for.
What's it, Rachel? Was that Rachel or Ryan?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, nice. So someone here from Dan. I really suggest you use Daniel. He did amazing. Please. Okay, there we go. Let me. Here, I'll show it. Thank you. Happy that you're satisfied with Daniel. Amazing. I seriously never heard a negative thing about Daniel. Jason, also I wanted to say, Jason, because you said about you want to learn about Shopify and digital marketing. Udemy, Kiki, can you write the Udemy link on the chat here so everyone can see it? Udemy is a really good platform to buy online courses, whether it's marketing related, paid advertising, SEO, and so on, and then also for Shopify in general if you want to learn. Otherwise, YouTube has a lot of Shopify has an amazing YouTube channel. But Udemy is definitely a platform that you can buy courses on. They run like 3-4 discount campaigns a month. So instead of paying $90 or 90 euros for a course, wait, they run, they usually do 80% discounts on a lot of the courses. Do I need to have, this is a good question. Do I need to have you should have your own domain name instead of using the Shopify domain name because it's a lot harder to promote a online store if it's, let's say, michaelfashion.myshopify.com. The URL is not very friendly. So I would suggest that you definitely should find a domain for your business. Check out expireddomains.com, and you can enter certain keywords like fashion brands or something, and then it will show you all the expired domains that are available to buy. So, Diane, the name of the course, just go inside Udemy and just write Shopify. Okay. Yeah, just search for Shopify and there's endless amount of courses that you can take. Okay, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, someone is using BigCommerce, just one thing here. BigCommerce, use the REST API or CSV file. We are working on building an integration with BigCommerce, but that's going to be done towards the end of the year. So BigCommerce is on the roadmap for the next e-commerce platform to build. So yes, thank you everyone for joining this webinar. Just one final, the Montclair, we're working on it. There's a lot of requests, we're working on that. We're discussing it with our vendors. But thank you everyone for joining. I hope that you gain a lot of value for it, and I'll be looking forward to working with you, with everyone here for the summer and beyond. Thank you. Thank you, Kiki, for hosting.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.